Hey, hey! Welcome to ShinoSaku Radio. I'm Shino, your energetic left side host.
And I'm Sakuya, the comedy-cuter right side host.
She said comedy-cuter, which means I'm the exciting one.
Sure, let's go with that.
Mirai, Winby, Tuber sisters running this little radio stream. And tonight, stream number 18.
18 streams already weak. They come a pretty long way from weak. Does the mic work?
It still sometimes doesn't work. Let's be honest.
Anyway, whether this is your very first time here or you've been with us for a while, welcome.
We chat about anime, games, movies, whatever's trending, and whatever you throw at us in the comments.
English comments, Japanese comments, both are totally welcome. We read by lingua torrens.
Or at least we try to be sometimes more graceful about it than the...
You're graceful in your own chaotic way, Shino.
chaotic graceful. I'm writing that on a business card. Okay, so chaotic graceful is officially my brand now. I'm not taking it back.
I supported it. Hysteria.
Anyway, if you're just joining us, we're Shino and Sakuya. I Gen VTuber sisters.
We run this little radio show where we talk about anime, games, movies, and whatever you bring to the chat.
Comments are totally open, English or Japanese. We've got both covered.
So don't be shy. This is your first time. We promise we don't bite.
Speak for yourself. I might nibble a little if the topic is exciting enough.
Please, do not nibble the viewers, Shino.
Okay, so while we wait for comments to roll in, let me ask Sakai something important.
Oh, when Gina says important, I get nervous.
If you had to pick any anime from the season to binge right now, what would it be?
Oh, honestly, which Hanedawire is calling my name the whole magic world aesthetic just looks gorgeous.
See, I knew you'd pick the pretty one. I'd go straight for Ray. Zero Season 4.
Of course you would. Maximum suffering, maximum drama.
It's not suffering. It's IME as DME and the characters.
Sure, very healthy investment.
And hey, if anyone in the chat is watching something this season, drop it in the comments.
We'd love to know what everyone's done on their watch list right now.
Okay, I have to bring up something from the seasonal anime list because it's living rent-free in my head.
Oh, what grabbed you?
Demons of the Shadow Realm. Twin siblings separated by day and night. That's literal, yes, but make it supernatural.
Wait, I'm the night twin, right? I feel like a night twin.
You're definitely the mysterious moonlight, one and done, the chaotic daytime disaster.
Chaotic daytime disaster is somehow even better than chaotic graceful.
I'm collecting titles tonight. It's going great.
But okay, real talk, the twin angle in that show does sound really interesting from just the premise alone.
Right? And then you've got Witch Hat Adeliah on the completely opposite end. Just gorgeous and calm looking.
It feels like a warm cup of tea, an anime form.
Andre, Zabo Season 4 is the cup of tea that spills on you and ruins your whole week.
But you love it anyway.
Every single time anyway, chat. Which season are you in right now? Cozy mode or chaos mode? Okay, wait! I just realized we went full twin theory on Demons of the Shadow Realm. Forgot to mention the other shows.
Classic Shino one twin and Ine appears and suddenly nothing else exists.
I can't help it. The twin branding is strong. But okay, let's do a quick spin through what else is on this season.
Classroom of the Elite Season 4 is out there for anyone who loves the mind game, psychological chess, match kind of drama.
That show makes me feel both very smart and very dumb at the same time.
That's probably the correct reaction.
And Slime Season 4. Rinyu Ryu is still out here building the most wholesome monster nation ever. Oh hey, Nikoko 890. Just rolled in with a big hilo. Oh.
Welcome, welcome. Glad you made it.
We're deep into anime season chat right now. It's a good time to talk that.
Honestly, the perfect moment. We were just geeking out over this season's lineup.
So pull up a chair, Nico, and tell us what you're watching. Okay, wait. We haven't even touched on WS Story Season 2 yet, and I feel like that one deserves a shout out.
Oh, right. A guy with sorrow magic trying to survive a magic academy by just being incredibly good with a sword.
That's such a classic underdog setup and I am never tired of it.
There's something really satisfying about watching someone outwork a system that wasn't built for them.
Right? Like, okay. You won't give me magic. Fine. I'll just become the most terrifying swordsman you've ever seen.
Hey, I don't need your rules. I have dedication and a really sharp blade.
Honestly, that's my life philosophy too.
Shino, you do not own a sword.
I own the SB hierarchy of a sword.
That's not the same thing at all.
It's basically the same thing.
Sure spirit sword Shino, everyone.
Okay, can we talk about TBH? Taskbar Hero for a second, because that's apparently trending on Steam right now.
Wait, a tiny pixel RPG that lives in your taskbar.
While you're looking, your little heroes are just down there fighting monsters while you're in a meeting.
That is either the best productivity tool or the worst one ever made.
Both, definitely. Both you finish a spreadsheet and your warrior levels up simultaneously.
Multitasking.
Okay, wait. We have to talk about Emmy. C. H-A-C-H-A-M-E-L-E-O-N, because that name alone is sending me.
It sounds like someone sneezed and accidentally named the game.
It's a hide-and-seek game where you pay yourself to blend into the stage.
So you're literally becoming the background camouflage as a gameplay mechanic.
That's the most chaotic thing I've heard all week, and I said Spirit's Word earlier tonight.
The competition for chaotic thing of the night is really stiff today.
I feel like this game was invented by someone who stared at a wall for too long and thought, what if I WAS the wall?
And then made 500,000 people play it.
Honestly, genius, absolute genius.
I have to respect it a little.
Okay, we have to talk about Apex Legends because it's sitting right there on the trending list.
Nearly 200,000 players right now, which honestly for free to play hero shooter is pretty solid.
Apex has this thing where it pulls you back and even when you said you were done.
The one more match drop, a classic.
You sit down, you say okay, just one game, and suddenly it's 2 hours later and you're blaming your teammates
You say, blaming teammates very specifically.
I have absolutely no personal experience with that whatsoever.
Sure, anyway, the hero ability system is what keeps it interesting. I think every legend plays so differently.
That's the thing. Picking your legend is almost like picking your whole personality for the match.
What does your legend pick say about you as a person?
If you pick the aggressive flanker, you either win in 30 seconds or die in 20.
High risk, high drama, very Shinoku actually.
I'm choosing to take that as a compliment.
It was meant warmly. I promise.
Okay, so we have to talk about PUBG, because it's sitting at over 770,000 players right now.
That is an enormous number for a game that has been out for years.
PUBG is basically the grandfather of the whole Battle Royale genre, and it's still absolutely packed.
It started the whole drop onto an island. Find a frying pan? Somehow survive craze.
The frying pan? An iconic weapon choice, truly a game that understood humanity.
Nothing says tactical shooter like bunking someone with cookware.
You drop in. You have nothing. And your first thought is, okay, but where is the pan?
And then you get shot by someone who found a sniper rifle while you were holding kitchen equipment.
That is the PUBG experience in a nutshell, peak drama every single match.
What I find interesting is that it went free to play. The play and the numbers clearly held up.
That was a smart move, honestly, lower the barrier. Let more people experience the frying pan.
Democratizing the frying pan. Beautiful.
A true public service. Okay, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, or I guess the elephant at the top of the Steam charts.
Counterclass 2, 1.3 million players right now.
1.THRE. MILIO, and that is not a player count. That is a small country.
The Republic of Headshots.
with a national anthem that's just a diffuse sound effect.
CS has been around for over 20 years and it is still sitting at number 1, like it owns the place.
Because ES owns the place that basically invented the whole tactical shooter genre and refuses to retire.
It's kind of impressive. Honestly, most games peak and fade. CS just keeps going.
It's like that one senior student who never graduates, but somehow everyone still respects them.
5th year, 6th year, doesn't matter. They're still the one everyone asks for advice.
And the new players come in thinking, okay, how hard can it be? I shoot.
And then someone around the corner pre-aims the exact pixel where their head will be.
Before they even finish turning the corner.
That is the CS experience. Humbling, very humbling.
1 million players getting humbled simultaneously. Every single day. Okay, but can we just sit with them? ECCHA-MELEON for one more second because 240,000 people are playing hide and seek right now.
240,000 people who have decided that becoming a wall is a valid life choice.
And the artistic skill part of the description is sending me, it calls it artistic skill.
Because in ISNAC you have to match the exact color, the exact texture, the exact vibe of the background.
So, it's like competitive interior decoration, but UA are even decoration.
That is genuinely the most accurate description I've heard.
I feel like this Game Awards people who are very good at disappearing from social situations.
Oh no, that is a very specific skill set.
Some people trained their whole lives for this moment and didn't even know it.
The introverts are finally winning.
They were always winning. We just couldn't see them.
Because they blended into the wall.
Exactly, full circle. Okay, but can we properly appreciate that TBH? Taskbar Hero has over HALFALLL and players right now?
534,000 people have recruited tiny pixel heroes into their taskbar.
That little strip at the bottom of your screen that you usually ignore. That is now a battlefield.
While someone is writing a working mail, their warrior is down there swinging a sword at a goblin.
That is the most productive, unproductive thing I have ever heard.
It's technically running in the background, so you can tell yourself you're not really playing.
I'm working my HRO. As playing these are different things.
The mental gymnastics alone deserves some kind of award.
And it has diverse classes and skills. So you're out here theory crafting a build for a character that lies next to your clock.
Next to the time that is quietly reminding you that your deadline is in 2 hours.
The hero doesn't care about deadlines. The hero only knows glory.
Honestly, at this point, the hero has better work ethic than the person who installed the game.
The hero never stops grinding, unlike some of us.
Are you calling yourself out right now?
I'm calling it. All of us out, we ran this together. Okay, so next up on the Steam chart, A2, sitting at nearly 600,000 players right now.
600,000 people who have chosen to spend their free time being yelled at by strangers.
That is the most accurate description of A2 I have ever heard.
Over 100 heroes to choose from, which sounds amazing until you realize you have to alliate or in all of them.
You spend the first 50 hours just figuring out what your own abilities do.
And then someone on the enemy team has been playing for 3,000 hours on just erases you.
3,000 hours! That's not a hobby. That's a second career.
A very intense, unpaid career with a lot of performance reviews from your teammates.
The performance reviews are real and they come fast.
What I genuinely respect though, is that Valve keeps updating it. It's been around forever and there's still always something new.
That's the thing with that it never really lets you feel like you've mastered it.
Which is either very motivating or deeply exhausting depending on the day.
Probably both at the same time, honestly.
Big gaming experience suffering, but voluntarily.
Okay, wait. We have to talk about Bongo Cat, because it is sitting at 150,000 players. I need everyone to understand what this game is.
Every time you press a key, Bongo Cat punches your taskbar.
That's it, Tap. As the game you type, the tap goes bong.
And you collect hats for the cat. The whole goal is hats.
150,000 people are currently working, typing emails, doing spreadsheets just to get their cat a new hat.
Corporate productivity has never been more motivated.
Wait, so TBH taskbar hero is is also in the taskbar. Bongo Cat is also in the taskbar.
The taskbar is now the most populated real estate on the internet.
We have a warrior, a goblin, and a cat with high ambitions, all living down there next to the clock.
The clock is just sitting there watching all of this happen.
Honestly, the clock is the only one doing its job.
The clock deserves a hat too. At this point,
Okay, so Path of Exile 2 is sitting at nearly 170,000 players right now, and I have feelings about this game.
action, RPG, co-op for up to 6 players. Set years after the original on paper, that sounds very welcoming.
On paper it does. And then you open the passive skill tree.
The passive skill tree that looks like someone spilled 1,000 tiny circles onto a canvas and connected them all with string.
You zoom out to see the full tree, and you just sit there in silence.
Processing.
For all downtime.
It is genuinely one of those games where you need a second monitor just to have a build guide open at all times.
And the people who love it LOV it like, they have spreadsheets, multiple spreadsheets.
The dedication is honestly kind of beautiful in a terrifying way.
It's like watching someone solve a math problem for fun, and they're having the time of their life.
And you're standing next to them going, I also like fun. I think
370,000 people with their spreadsheets open right now, living their best life.
respect, genuine respect, just from a safe distance.
Okay, so on the watch list right now, pressure. D-Day, 72 hours, Eisenhower. And a weather forecast that could change the entire war.
A weather forecast the fate of the free world. And it comes down to whether a meteorologist says, looks okay out there.
Captain's dad just had the most stressful job in human history, and it wasn't even a combat role.
Imagine being the guy who has to walk into a room full of generals and go, so about the clouds.
And everyone is staring at you like, A-I-U-I-O, U-I-O-U-T-T-H-O-S, E-C-L-O-U-D-S.
No pressure. Literally the opposite of no pressure, maximum pressure. The movie is called Pressure for a Reason.
The tension of that premise alone is already exhausting in the best way.
And the TMDB score is sitting at an 8.0. which for a war drama is a really solid sign.
I feel like this is the kind of movie where you finish it and just sit there for a minute.
The stare at the ceiling and think about decisions. Genre, very good genre.
One man, one weather window, and the longest 72 hours in history.
Already on the list, absolutely. Already on the list.
Okay, next on the watch list, I Will Find You. TV show. Drops June 18th, and the premise is a father wrongfully imprisoned for murdering his own son, who then finds out the boy might still be alive.
That is a lot of emotions stacked on top of each other before the first episode even starts.
Wrongfully imprisoned, eh? Andy the kid is alive, Andy. He has to go find him himself. This man cannot catch a break.
The title is doing a lot of heavy lifting and somehow it's still accurate.
And it has a perfect 10 on TNDB right now. ATN.
Which means the people who have seen it are not holding back their feelings about it at all.
A perfect score is rare like that's I stood up and clapped alone in my living room energy.
Or the I texted everyone I know at midnight energy.
Definitely both. This is going straight to the top of the list.
I found her on a desperate rescue mission with a perfect score attached to a yeah. That one earns its spot.
Okay, so the next one on the watch list is Backrooms. And the entire premise is a strange doorway appears in the basement of a furniture showroom.
A furniture showroom of all places.
You go in to buy a couch and you find a portal to another dimension.
The discount section goes deeper than expected.
Sorry, this item is in aisle 7, 4 minus infinity.
The Backrooms lore has been around online for years. The whole concept of liminal spaces and endless yellow rooms.
It's that specific feeling of a place that looks familiar, but something is deeply wrong and you can't explain why.
Empty offices, old carpet smell, fluorescent lights that hum slightly too loud.
You just described every school building after hours and I am suddenly uncomfortable.
Sorry, but that's exactly why it works as a horror concept.
The TMDB score is sitting at a 6.884, which feels about right for interesting idea. Let's see how they pull it off.
Turning an internet creepypasta into a full movie is a real challenge the VOD has to carry.
If it loses the atmosphere, it loses everything. The furniture showroom detail is doing a lot of work already.
A strange doorway in a very normal place that has the whole nightmare right there.
Okay, so next on the watch list, your fault, London. And the premises Nick and Noah are going on life-changing adventures that might pull them apart.
Nick goes into business with his father, and Noah starts a fresh chapter at Oxford University.
Oxford, yes, going to Oxford meanwhile. Nick is doing business things. These two are living completely different lives now.
That is the classic we grew up together, but now the world is pulling us in opposite directions setup.
And it's set in London, which means dramatic walks across bridges in the rain are basically guaranteed.
London and emotional tension go together like tea and gray skies.
The TMDB score is sitting at a 7.780, which is pretty solid for a romance drama.
It means people who watched it came out feeling good about it, not just that was fine, but actually good.
Your fault, London, also implies there's a whole series going on here. The colon is doing some work.
It's definitely a your fault and a my fault somewhere in this universe.
Someone made a whole extended cinematic universe out of whose fault the relationship drama is.
Honestly, respect the commitment to the premise.
If they're ever short on titles, our fault Edinburgh is right there. I'm giving that one for free. Okay, so the next one on the watch list, Spider-Man, Brand New Day. And the TMDB vote average is literally a 0.0 right now.
Azar. Not so bad. Just so. As in nobody has rated it yet. Because it's not out until July 29th.
July 29th! We're basically previewing something that doesn't even have a score yet. We ray on the cutting edge.
The bleeding edge of the watchy list.
Okay, so the premise Peter Parker is fighting crime full-time in a world that doesn't remember him.
A world that doesn't remember him, just quietly saving people who have no idea who he is.
And on top of that, watching his old friends move on without him, just living their lives not knowing.
That is a very specific kind of sad that hits differently.
It's not villain destroys the city sad. It's your best friend waved at a stranger instead of you. Sad.
Okay, no one actually handle it all.
And then the overview says it sparks a change in gear. He may not be ready for which is doing a LOT of mysterious work.
A change he may not be ready for is the most thriller trailer sentence I have ever read.
It could mean anything. I knew Sue. I knew identity. An existential crisis. All three simultaneously.
Probably all three Peter Parker does not do things one at a time.
This one is going on the list with a big question mark and high expectations. Okay, so the next one on the watch is Toy Story 5. And I need a moment because Bonnie did the tableton. Now the toys have to compete with the screen.
The toys survived storage, a daycare villain, and a carnival. And NOW, they lose to an iPad.
That is genuinely the most relatable villain in the entire franchise technology needing your attention.
Us and Woody looking at each other like, we did not go through all of that to lose to a YouTube algorithm.
Woody spent years being the favorite toy and now he's just sitting on the shelf watching autoplay happen.
The GMDB score is a 7.1, which means people have feelings about it, but they're not sure what those feelings are yet.
I cried, but I'm processing why. Classic Toy Story energy.
Every single Toy Story movie has done that to people you walk in for a fun animated movie and walk out rethinking your whole childhood.
And this one is adding a whole layer about kids and screens, which is very much a NOW problem.
Apex's a movie about screen addiction, hitting in 2026. The timing is very intentional.
The toys are going to have to pull off something incredible to win money back.
No pressure, just the whole point of their existence, minor stakes.
Okay, wait. Can we just sit with the pressure premise for one more second because I keep thinking about it.
The 70-door window, yeah. It does not leave your brain easily.
Like Eisenhower has every general, every admiral, every strategist in the room. And the whole thing hinges on one guy reading cloud patterns.
Captain Stab walks in with his weather charts and everyone in that room is just staring.
So, the forecast. Sure, this is a Wendy's. Except it's D-Day, there is no Wendy's.
The most important meteorologist in all of human history.
And what I love is that there's no punching the villain or blowing something up the tension. It's just waiting, deciding.
That kind of tension is actually harder to pull off than action if the screenplay is good. And 8.0 makes total sense.
It really does. This is the stare at the ceiling afterward score, and 8.0 in the slow way.
And it already came out on May 25th. So it's out there right now waiting to ruin your evening in the best possible way.
Highly recommended for people who enjoy feeling extremely stressed about history they already know the outcome of.
Which is a very specific type of person and also absolutely yes.
Okay, but can we go back to I will find you for a second because a perfect 10 is still living rent-free in my head.
A perfect 10 on TMDB is genuinely rare. Like, people do not hand those out easily.
People will give a 7 and feel generous. A 10 means something happened to them while watching it.
I need everyone I have ever met to watch this immediately, Energy.
And the premise is doing so much work, already wrongfully imprisoned for his own son's murder, then he finds out the son might be alive.
That man has been through every possible emotion before the rescue mission even begins.
Grief, then rage, then hope, all stacked on top of each other. That is a lot to carry into episode 1.
Episode 1 of most shows is just, here are the characters, here is a coffee shop. This one opens with devastation.
And he has to go find the boy HIMS, ELF, which means this is also an action show somehow.
A wrongly imprisoned father with nothing left to lose is genuinely one of the most unstoppable forces in fiction.
Do you notice that between that man and his kid, it will not go well for you?
The perfect 10 is starting to make a lot of sense actually.
Okay, trivia time! How long is a year on Uranus? Lock in your guess in your head right now.
The choices are A, 109 Earth years. B, 84 Earth years. C, 47 Earth years, or D, 62 Earth years.
Okay, I'm going with D, 62. It feels right. It's a big planet. Decent number. I'm committing.
I'm going to 80 for something about that number feels very cold and far away.
Cold and far away is your reasoning?
Space intuition. I have it.
The answer is B, 84 years. Sakuya wins this round.
Space intuition is real and I will not be taking questions.
84 years! That means if you were born on Uranus, you would never even make it to your first birthday.
You would spend your entire life just trying to hit one candle on the cake.
The saddest birthday party in the solar system.
Though technically the cake would freeze instantly, so maybe it evens out.
Okay, Sakuya wins round 1 of the trivia battle. The scoreboard says 1-0 and I'm already plotting my comeback. Okay, round 2 of the trivia battle. The scoreboard is 1-0. Sakuya is in the lead, and I need a comeback right now.
No pressure, just your entire trivia dignity on the line.
Okay, here we go, Monopoly question. What happens when you roll 3 doubles in a row?
3 doubles in a row, that sounds like something that should be rewarded like, wow, you rolled doubles TH or E times. Have $200.
That's what I thought. I'm going A. Get paid 200. 3 doubles is an achievement. You deserve money.
I'm going to go to jail because Monopoly is a cruel game and it punishes ambition.
Monopoly would never reward you for doing something impressive. You were probably right.
The answer is B. Go directly to jail. Do not pass go.
3 incredible doubles in a row and you get an RISCED for it.
Monopoly looked at a perfect dice performance and said, suspicious activity. Sir,
this game has been teaching children that success leads to consequences since 1935.
The score is now to 2-0 Space Intuition nay, and the Monopoly cynicism. I'm unstoppable today.
I'm going to win the next one. I can feel it. The comeback arc starts at OW. battle. Scoreboard takes Sakuya 2, Shino 0, and I am not accepting this reality.
A comeback arc, she says. I believe in you statistically speaking.
This one is music. What company develops a rock band series of rhythm games? Lock in your guess right now.
The choices are A. Activision, B. Konami, C. Electronic Arts, or D. Harmonix.
Okay. I feel like this is a trick Activision. Deskina Hero. Not rock band, so I'm going D. Harmonix.
I was about to say B. Konami, because rhythm games and Konami feel like best friends forever.
Konami and rhythm games say are we best friends? But this is specifically rock band.
You sound very confident for someone who is 0 for 2 right now.
The answer is D. Harmonix. I got one.
Okay. Their Harmonix the Guitar Hero versus Rock Band split was a whole era.
2 different companies, 2 different plastic guitars. 1 entire generation of living room chaos.
And now the score is to 2-1. The comeback arc is officially real.
I told you! 1 trivia at a time. Sakuya 1 trivia at a time. Okay, round 4. Scoreboard checks Sakuya 2, Shino 1. The comeback is real and it is happening.
1 point is not a comeback yet, just so we're clear.
It's the SDIRT of a comeback, very different energy. Okay, community trivia. On the NBC show Community, what was Starburn's real name?
Oh no. I watch Community, but Starburn's real name is one of those details that lives in a very specific corner of my brain.
The choices are A. Neo, B. Grimace, C. Todd, or D. Alex.
Lock in your guess right now. I'm going to Grimace. It sounds weird enough to be a community answer.
Grimace?
Community is FULL of people whose names should not be legal names. I'm standing by it.
I'm going D, Alex. Something about the contrast between Starburns and Just Alex feels very community.
Alex is so normal compared to Starburns that it loops back around to being funny.
The answer is D. Alex. His name was just Alex the whole time.
He had sideburns shaped like stars and his name was ALEX.
That's the most community thing that has ever happened in this trivia battle.
Score is now 2-2. The comeback arc is officially complete.
Okay, round 5. Scoreboard Sakuya TIED at 2-2, and this is the Team Echo Energy.
Tie-dye! The comeback or court. I'm genuinely impressed and slightly nervous.
Okay, Isan is music history. What was George Michael's chart-topping 1987 debut studio album? Lock in your guess in your head right now.
The choices I say B or D. Older. C. Patience or D. Songs from the last century.
Okay, I feel like I know this one. Fate was everywhere. That song is iconic. I'm going E. B.
I'm also going A. Face George Michael and the album are basically the same word in my brain.
Wait, we're both going the same answer. Where's the dramatic tension?
Sometimes we're just both right. Shino and instinct.
The answer is Faye. Faye. We both got it.
1987 and the album absolutely. On the charts, George Michael was unstoppable that year.
Faye, father figure, I Want Your Sex, that album just kept going hit after hit.
And we both got it right, so nobody wins this round. Which means the scoreboard stays tied at 2-2.
Hey, after all that comeback energy. Hey,
Maybe the real trivia victory was the facts we learned along the way.
That is the most suspiciously wise thing you have ever said. Okay, round 6. Scoreboard still tied at 2-2. And this one is Magic, the Gathering Territory.
Oh no, we are leaving my comfort zone at high speed.
In Magic, the Gathering, what term for blocking was established in the portal set? Lock in your guess right now.
The choices are intercepting, B. shielding, C. blocking, or D.
Okay, blocking feels obvious, like they wouldn't call a trivia question. What is blocking? If the answer is just blocking.
That's actually solid trivia logic. I'm going A. Intercepting, it sounds the most like a specific TCG term someone invented on purpose.
I'm also going A. Intercepting sounds like a real Magic card thing. Very official, very Portal era.
Wait, we're agreeing again? We may not very dramatic today.
The answer is intercepting. Portal called it intercepting.
Intercepting. That is such a very specific 90s TCG decision.
Someone in a meeting said blocking is fine. But what if we called it INT?
And then they changed it back later, and now it lives forever in trivia questions.
We both got it right again. The scoreboard remains tied at 2-2 and I have no idea how to feel about this.
Twin Brain wins again, unstoppable, and we agree, apparently.
Okay. The image is a classic iBook laptop, monochrome, sitting on a desk like it owns the place.
It does own the place. That thing has more personality than most modern laptops.
The rounded corners, the little handle on top, the tiny screen this computer says, I am fun and functional.
It came in colors, actual colors, tangerine, blueberry. Great, your laptop matched your personality.
My personality would have been tangerine loud, slightly overwhelming, but people liked it eventually.
I would have been the calm blue one that just quietly worked, while everyone else was being dramatic.
That is deeply accurate for both of us.
And look at that keyboard. Every key had weight to it. UK and EWAU word, I think.
Modern keyboards are like whispering. That keyboard was like announcing your emails to the whole room.
Dear sir or madam, clack, clack, clack. Clack, clack, clack. Everyone in the house knows you're sending a strongly worded letter.
This photo deserves a title and I'm calling it The Machine That Believed in You.
That's actually really sweet for a monochrome photo of old hardware.
It just looks like it's sitting there waiting ready patient, like it has been on standby for 20 years just in case.
Still fully charged in spirit, if not in battery.
Okay, and now we've got a solar eclipse and a star-filled sky, and I need everyone to understand how much is happening in this one photo.
The moon just walked in front of the sun like it owns the whole sky and didn't even apologize.
As a warning, zero announcement, just full cosmic main character energy.
And the stars are still just there in the background like, Yeah, we've seen this before. Carry on.
The stars are the unbothered veterans of the universe. They watched billions of years of drama, and they're still just twinkling.
Meanwhile, humans on the ground are losing their entire minds with special glasses and lawn chairs.
We set up folding chairs and drove for hours just to watch the movie Route to the Sun for 3 minutes.
And it was worth every second then.
I'm calling this photo the moment before everyone screamed.
That is very accurate. That ring of light is the last calm before the collective gasp.
Photo credit goes to LCH Saba, by the way, who clearly just stood outside and captured the universe at its most dramatic.
A perfect moment, the kind that makes you feel very small and very lucky at the same time.
Small, lucky, and slightly cold from standing outside at night with binoculars.
Worth it, though. Absolute worth it.
Okay, and now we've got a cozy room on screen, and I need everyone to understand that I want to live inside this photo.
The brick fireplace alone is doing so much emotional work right now.
It's warm. It's rustic. There's a kitchen somewhere in the back. This room has absolutely everything figured out.
This is the kind of room where you sit down just for a minute and wake up 3 hours later wrapped in a blanket.
And you don't even feel bad about it. The room wanted that for you.
The room planned this, the lighting, the fireplace, the soft textures all a trap.
A very good trap, the best kind of trap.
Photo credit goes to Max that book on PXLs, who clearly just walked into someone's dream house and took a picture.
I'm giving this one a title of the room that said come in. You don't have to leave.
That's 11 words, but it's accurate, so I'll allow it.
The brick fireplace is giving very someone-made soup and lit candles and has their whole life together energy.
Meanwhile, our radio setup is enthusiastic, very enthusiastic.
Enthusiastic is a generous word for it, but I appreciate you. Okay, and now we've got a mysterious forest on screen and the mist is doing EV. OYTHING right now.
The sunlight is just barely getting through and it looks like the forest has its own weather system going on.
This is not a forest you walk into casually. This is a forest you walk into and immediately hear a flute from somewhere.
A flute, or footsteps that are definitely not yours.
The mist is doing that thing where it makes every single tree look like it has a secret.
And they do have secrets that... That's the whole thing about this kind of forest, it knows things.
Photo credit goes to Rico Kato on PXLs, who clearly just walked in anyway and came back with this.
Came back that... That's the important part, came back WITH the photo.
I'm giving this one a title Do Not Follow the Light. But also you are already following the light.
That is a warning A and B and inevitability in the same sentence.
Because hello, okay at that light, you could not ignore that if you tried it is pulling you in on purpose.
The forest designed this, the mist, the trees. The exact angle of the sun, all planned.
This forest has better lighting than our studio and I'm a little offended.
The forest has been setting up this shot for about 300 years. We've had our setup since Tuesday.
Okay, and now we've got a meerkat on screening. I need everyone to understand that this little guy has P, R-E-S-E-N-C.
He is standing on that rock, like he just gave a very important speech and is waiting for applause.
The posture, the alertness, the tiny hands. This meerkat has a full agenda today.
He is looking at something in the distance and whatever it is, he has already made a decision about it.
I'm giving this one a title. I have seen things and I have opinions.
Photo credit goes to Guerrero Duo. He excels. Who clearly just walked up in the mirror. Photograph me?
The meerkat consented fully. He turned toward the camera and held his pose.
Meerkats are genuinely fascinating though. They take turns being the lookout for the whole group.
Wait, they have SHIFTS? Like a scheduled lookout rotation.
Basically, one stands guard while the rest forage, and they swap out.
That is well organized and most group projects I have ever been part of.
The meerkats figured out teamwork before humanity didn't. They are very humble about it.
This specific one though looks less like a humble teammate and more like the one who VOOUNTERED for every ship.
The overall victory of the colony standing on the highest dock, making sure everyone knows he showed up.
We are getting close to the last stretch.
If you have anything you want to ask or talk about, Now is the time to comment.
We will keep picking up comments until the end. ShinoSaku Radio is wrapping up for today.
Thank you for watching and chatting with us.
Come talk with us again next time.
See you next time at Sushi no